So we're going to take this moment to sit into our activation pose. Welcome, sacred lovers, sacred, beautiful, worthy, and mighty, beloved creation. Let us get into our activation pose. So if you have a bra on, let the straps go on the side. Make sure you have something comfortable on the wings. When we do the light alchemy, it's nice to wear whites because of the type of work that we're doing. Or be naked, or wear a clothing that feels like you can breathe through your soul. So we're going to do the activation. We're going to work on inhaling from the center, from the entire center, and holding it in, holding that breath in. How good it feels to inhale. That expansion. I'm going to move this camera so that thou can see all the hand movements so it's not lost in translation. Let's see. My sacred tea. Everything for a reason. There's a reason it happened. Okay. Inhale, you can have the legs crossed, have the legs centered. Make sure to be aware of how we're sitting. So our toes touching each other when we're centering to do this in activation poses. Sit in center, you can stand in center, but let's do it together again for all who are gathering with us right now. Let me change this song to minimize so you can hear. So inhaling the light to the center, our already present light, glowing brightly. The more we inhale, the more we hold it in, glows so bright. And releasing that with intention. Okay, and again. Let me open my other computer really fast. Apologies. So into the center. Raising up here to the sacred voice from the heart, healing the entire soul, healing through the entire crown of the mohawk of the light we exist as, and so we're exhaling with that sound, we're visualizing that light wrapping around us like a casing. Okay. So I was asked to bring in recovery. Let's bring it a little bit closer. I wish I had my videographer Philip here right now. That would be really helpful. So a lot of us are healing from and recovering from experiences. So I'm being asked to teach how to heal with light alchemy from the experiences through recovery. And one of the ways that I work with is through breath work, through centering and intentions. I don't believe that we have to breathe always to exist. I feel like we can go without breathing. I've had the ambulance call me mini on a couple of occasions because I chose not to breathe and to heal like that, and they were concerned because I wasn't breathing. But I'm fine. I am not human. And so I learned a lot of ways to function and exist because I felt that many of us are not considered humans. Like, we are all very unique beings, and if we were allowed to be those beings, then we would have way less fears and way less controlling issues. Like, we don't have to have those things. So this is one of what I've created. It's called, I have it in a cup inside of a container. I have my own website, but inside a container, I would call it the cure. And I'm not going to tell you what this is right now because I don't want to go through that as a business owner, but I'm going to tell you that I create this with light alchemy. And so there's over 30 ingredient beings inside of here that I've worked with, microdosing all of them, carefully putting them in with intentions, blessing them, healing with them, crystal beings going into them. So I make these sacred selves. I make elixirs and tinctures, and I provide products that are made with light alchemy. And the entirety of working as a light alchemist that creates treatments that others can call cures is that we are connected in a sacred way with those that we work with, for the plant medicines, for the roots, for them who have been grown in honor of such, to bring about the transformations that we're helping with. But as simple as it may seem, beginning with an inhalation of intentions, I gotta go outside. It's just too warm in the house. Let's go outside. Sorry. It's just too much. We're gonna go outside. Asha. Into my palace we travel. I apologize for this, but you know, if you feel like you have to get out of a box, you just gotta get out of the box. The stay-at-home stuff has been a little bit too much for some of us who are used to being free. So, thankfully we have gardens here. Yay! Freedom. Come to my garden, to the sacred grove. They smell really yummy too. They're so beautiful. Okay, let me open the gate. Put some beautiful beans down. Okay. Let us come to where I feel like sitting at to communicate about this. It's better to be free than to feel constraints, especially when working with light. Okay, I'm gonna get my yoga blanket. We're gonna sit and we're gonna chill and communicate about light alchemy. Free. Woo, feels much better. Okay. So all of us who can get outdoors, get outdoors. Get a blanket. You see the blanket I have set up out here specifically for being out here and wearing dresses, doing ceremony. So let us get comfortable. I'm going to give these some moments to get comfortable. We'll let this one go pretty long as needed. Okay. And those of you who have oil that you've made, if you've made anything that's similar to itself, that's maybe liquidy for massaging, with arnica, with dandelions, with roses, I welcome you to get those right now and really anoint our wrists. So I'm going to do this in honor of all of us. I'm going to anoint my wrists and then thus anointing thy wrists. And going into there in that beautiful way with the plant medicines present who are offering themselves to thee, and then onto the feet and onto the ankles. And pushing that in with beautiful light. Those of you who feel like you need protection, working with the Shea along the neck, draw a line. You can add the arnica, you can work with the calendula flower beings, the roses, all of those that thou worketh with the leaves that grow naturally around thee, really raising that through the crowns and really shuttering out others' energies from the crown, from the hair, so that this lesson can be received without others' intentions or limitations on your soul. If you have olive oil or coconut oil, you can do that with that also. But getting that, grabbing it, really blessing and anointing it with our light, our appreciation that they exist. So in some of the first classes of the light alchemy, the light courses that have been being taught, is to honor those that we are receiving from, who's giving to us, being thankful for them, putting light in with them, and that beautiful appreciation. So we're not just taking from them, but we're integrating with them, and there's this beautiful pure love light that comes from that energy. So we're not taking from the plant medicines, we're coexisting together, we're raising that light. So like once I've been able to create cures with them, and when I work with them, I'm creating them in multiple places. I'm regrowing them with that pure intention, that ability. I can create that. I have witnessed that happen in front of my eyes. We are able to create miracles. Growing them again is very easy. So we give thanks and we receive them. Same with the crystal beings that we're working with. I have Lemurian quartz, amethyst beings that have worked with me with them, other crystal beings, hematite beings that come forward who want to work with them. I don't grind them up. They come forward to work with me with them. So their energies are connected with them because they're either inside of the cauldrons or they're on the outside. They're somewhere close by. Okay, so once we have been anointed, the crowns, the feet, the wrists with our sacred oils, it could be olive, sunflower, any that you have available that's organic and non-GMO is greatly appreciated. If they are like that, then just put them around my sound concerts, the sound baths, and then they can be blessed. And even your voice could bless them. So now we're going to work on centering in our light through breathing in our intentions. So we're going to center completely where we can feel we are our lover. Like feel so close to our souls that we are our soul's lovers. So I'm going to ask you to sit in an open knee position with your hands onto the center of your paws and center you up straight. Allowing the wings to open some and the soul to not feel so curled inside. Open some, but really centering in that anchoring of the mohawk of our light, reflecting, expanding, centering, feeling loved. Now inhale from the center with the mouth closed. And before exhaling, entering in. Exhale through the center, focusing on the importance of our hands into our feet, our energy, our vibrations, and raising that up through our soul, through our entire spine areas, through our center, raising that energy up around through our centers. It's for healing. Let us magnify that. Now, what do your hands feel like? Do you feel it on, do you feel pulsating on your hands, on my fingers? So my fingers, they are glowing pink with vibrant light coming from them. Look at thy fingers, look at thy hands. Keeping your feet together. I'll let you see. As a child, they gave me Forrest Gump braces on my legs because my toes would go inwards, so I had leg braces from foot to thigh very early on. And I found that I continuously go into this pose, and I realized why is because it's returning my sacred source to my sacred source, as we all are given that almighty privilege to have our energy sufficing more than plenty. We don't need to outsource. Same with products that we purchase. We don't have to outsource to receive the plenty. There's plenty of insourcing options. And that really has to do with our light beings also. With working with our light as light alchemists, we have to work with what we are given with, what we have here. And many of us have this intention that we've already mastered many areas of healing. And so now, what is the next step? So this course is very easy. And it's considered breath work, but it's not just breath work, it's actually alchemizations with breathing. So we're going to do this together. With your feet together, if you can get your feet together. Sit up straight. You can close the legs if it's even more comfortable. If you're in a place that doesn't feel comfortable, have the legs open. Straighten them if that's comfortable, if it's in a sitting position. But allow your feet to go one on top of the other, either right over left or left over right, and you can mix them up some depending on the comfortable positions, because not all of you are able to sit like that right now. That's totally respectful and honorable and comprehended. There's many ways to work with this, but we must have our energy in us. So connecting our energy together, like as who we are as beings. That safety cushion, our vibration, our light, and the expansion of our we-ness. So let us, glowing this beautiful light, the sacred cord, and our Akashic remembrance is already there, the reconnection is already there with our heart souls. We're really working on loving who we are as soul beings, accepting who we are so that we can break through that shell into the aha, yes, very magical light. Now inhaling through the center, we're going to begin creating. So what is it that is ready to be created? In 5 sentences, write them, not now, but after, and then practice this. We'll practice it now and continue to practice that for until the next meeting, until beyond that, as often as necessary, as much as necessary. There's no limitation to this growth. So inhaling to the sacred center, from the entire center, sacral, solar, heart expansions, throat, crown, all realms that we exist as in Shri, our omnipresence, our soul presence, our reconnection, being worthy of being, our vibrations. Allow thy fingers and hands to move swiftly as necessary. All of us have our purposes and we flow in the ways that we do. It's not necessary to exactly copy fully, but to integrate that I am presence of this is what feels comfortable, this is what I'm supposed to do, and really feeling into that. Because we've all excelled to that graduation moment where we can feel into what's comfortable. Yum yum. Sacred lemons with warm ururu, just waters. And a little bit of salting. And some of my tantra, the tantra spray that I create, put into here. I made a heavenly elixir. Okay. So I asked a wizard being, beloved wizard, alchemizer, what shall I teach them today? I've spoken of so many levels of awareness. What shall I teach them for this moment? And this loved said, remind them how to breathe. Remind them how to breathe. And gave the examples that I give when I'm teaching the light and sound yoga. And in that moment said, of course, teaching this to those who I teach the light and sound yoga, why would I not teach this in the light alchemy also? This is very much important as we are gathering the saplings and the sacred rose pinks, as we are gathering from them, practicing the breathing, the honorable, holding the breath, honoring them, wishing them wellness that they may regrow, intentionally gathering in a very pure way, while we're doing so in an honorable way, like very compassionate, very loving, very nurturing. And that exhale and that inhale, all of that is a part of a light alchemy method, is that we are working with our breath, our inhalation of our energy, our exhalation of our energy, our intentions of our energy, our exhalations of that energy, that expand energy that we carry. Yes, this is alkalines. The Shasta comes through here too, the sacred mount of our sacred nectar. I truly enjoy gathering from there. But they have closed the gates there, which is possible to break in. But yes, that is enjoyed and missed. But this is honorable as it is from the same sacred source that has been transformed in honor of us. So I'm very thankful. So this alchemization that has been created, the tantra that is created has clove, cinnamon, moringa, maca. No, it's maca, not moringa. Maca. A lot of beings in it. Lang lang, jasmine. And it's an aphrodisiac. Also a soul healer. I created it to heal those who've been through sexual trauma and abuse as well, so that they're able to, and also those who couldn't get it up anymore or didn't feel pleasure in those ways. So it's like a super deep healing elixir that I created as a spray, but I drink it as a tea because I am the one who creates it, so I can do so. Same with this, I have my own version. This one has chunks of shea inside so that I could work with that, because I feel I created this version for my children because we were out here playing in La Sol, and I wanted them to feel safe, because one of them is like Snow White, was super pale, but now is golden because of this. It makes a tan instead of burning it. Helps them to golden and be immune to sunlight. So much alchemy. So let us do this again. I'm gonna sit with my legs open and straight, and we're gonna center through the center. I'm gonna ask that in this pose, we're gonna tighten through the center. So tighten it up, squeeze, tighten through the center, squeeze, tighten through here, squeeze, raise the chin, arch the back, allow the wings to go into a resting position. Open paws, open hands, and really receiving this beautiful, our souls streaking out. Inhaling our vibrations, our light, our integration of beautiful light together, but our light as we are beings. This integration of our light with our light echoing out. Beautiful ways, rainbow light. Any sound that you want to sing. Okay, now with our feet together, we're going to try the multiple energies. Inhaling again. Yeah, so with this pose, I'm able to see what all of this will look like when beings move from the homes. And all of these areas are like forests here. So we can travel, like we can actually see multiple places, multiple moments in these poses, because we're able to center divinely and to see multiple realms as well as where we are here right now. So if you come in with a vision and intention, so right, and these moments I'm here, I'm visualizing them growing, and they're showing me that they're going to grow so plenty, even beyond when the homes are inhabited, plenty. And so it is an assurance, it is a very beautiful assurance, but this is an affirmation, a confirmation. So I'm gonna ask all of thee to center with your feet open, practicing this, and then going inwards. So out, inhale. You can hold the hands, the paws like this or like this. You can switch them around and see which visions are given with both. So now with this way, I intentionally put in what my vision is with our integrated vision, sustaining that vision of the integration. It's very positive. And the way it works is because it is all this for the highest vibration and intentions for creation. So this is very beautiful. So right over left. And now together. You can put your left over in this way if you're into those types of poses, but I'm not supposed to teach that. I'm teaching these poses. So we could put the right over the left in this way and allow them to go hand in hand, or thumb and thumb. For the other level of the integration, holding the thumbs, ready? Pushing out with the elbows slightly, and not so much, but more so energetically. Centering. Coming in with the breath from the center into creation and the expansion of all creation. Centering that expansion into all realms, all home planets, all creation, and the expansion of where we are and to who our souls are and our purpose. And then with that beautiful fringe of light, really expanding that. Lots of beautiful messages and messengers who are present. So we're going to practice again the inhalation. So there should be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Each number represents what you're ready to call in. So I'm going to ask you to put in the effort and energy into looking into the numbers. Not numerology. Not always do those numbers expand the full truth. You've got to look into the ethereal, the celestial, the multi-realms of the numbers and the representations of them. What they signify to thee. Not what's in a book, not what's online, but what those numbers signify to thy soul as a being of light with light alchemizations. Having confidence and comfort that we already come through with that information and we don't have to look outwards for that. So mastering what we already have inside of us and then looking at the out and saying, okay, and seeing the comparisons, some of the comparisons, but seeing where they balance with us, what part of that is true. We have this keen sensibility, this beautiful assertiveness that we can identify with what's true and what maybe is not exactly what our souls is telling us is the truth. So we have to listen to that because each of us hold the keys already to that knowledge of what is true. Okay. Greetings, Kay. Yes. So this really beautiful creation that I've created right here, Greek rose bones. That's right. There's a beloved whose leg was amputated, and it called me in to help it to heal. And I can remember it smelled like a chicken, because it was like the plastic on the leg was rotting its leg, the little nub that was there, and it was continuously open sore, and so it was sitting there with its leg, like it's the part of its leg said, just heal me, and it told me it was gonna smell, so then I thought that it was gonna smell, and then I was like, and I have a sensitive tummy, so I was trying not to breathe in, and I didn't want to touch it because I really, I can easily vomit, I'm really sensitive to smells. I have super senses. I have super sight, super hearing, super smell, super taste, super feeling. I'm a true super being, and it's a lot. And so I was like, okay. So it made me touch the leg, and instantly it was healed. And so this beloved came to me, and I was creating this for it in exchange for it to help me in my home and around my home, when I was able to hire those to help me then in that way. And the leg started to grow back. The bone was growing, the leg started to grow again. I had another who came to me whose both its legs were amputated, and I was doing hands-on healing for it to regrow its legs. And then another who came who was in a wheelchair, and I was able to help it to feel its legs again. But it's definitely, it takes a lot. I've had to relearn how to work on healing others so that I don't feel exhausted from helping them heal, because I love so deeply. So I've had to relearn the activation pose that I teach all of us before the entrance, is that activation pose, so we have that, we can help them heal and we're not getting drained and exhausted while doing so. I'm so glad for that. But the salve, it even I don't have Crohn's disease anymore. I don't have to get knee surgery. It helped me heal those who have infections that the doctors' antibiotics don't cure. This has helped them heal. Those who are destitute, they're oh, there's no hope for you. They can walk again. Their hands are movable again. They're not crippled. Seizures stop. There's no brain damage. What I create is miracles. What we create is miracles. So putting in that intention and that positive affirmation with the plant medicines that we're working with to create the light alchemy is very important. As a light alchemist, we're doing a lot of magnifying intention. So we're botanists, we're healers. We have abilities to heal others with our light work. And so as light alchemists, we're bringing in the plant medicines too with that. And we're bringing in our energy, and our breath work, and our soulful energy and doing this. And this is part of light alchemizations. This is very real. This is not some pretend thing to be an alchemist. This is very sacred. This is like next multi-realm levels of expansions within what we are birthed with, being able to do. From birth, we are allowed to be in these ways. So what is being retaught is what is already known in the spirit. This is the Akashic records that are always there, always present. So it's in a remembrance of our souls that I'm teaching this to us. Right here, that grows right here. Let me show you. And this is part of the light alchemy. I prayed in a place that I would be able to have sacred gardens. They're already here. The liquat tree being that's right here, the leaves can be eaten as lettuce. Healing, and as well the fruit, all of them, they're completely healing. Even the rose leaves, yes, I see it. And they're all edible. The liquats are known for curing HIV and AIDS. I believe they said HIV, it cures HIV. And cancer, it cures cancer. And has been used instead of the medications that they give them for those. These are the ones that they work with in exchange for that. We have abundance of them here. They're thriving, happily growing here. It's really miraculous, amazing what's here already, growing and thriving sacredly. And so if there's any of thee who need the liquat leaves, I have them. They're organic and very pure. These are the ones that I make my healing ones with. From the first class that I began here on Facebook with the light alchemy classes, we have one of their leaves that we wrapped in with turmeric and ginger, as well as thyme, cinnamon, and parchment. And we did healing wands with them, and a crystal that was found on the right side of the home. So calling in that energy for those who need healing in those areas. I'm going to bring in that plant medicine right now. So this is also part of working with the light and with our connection with all creation. Some of the are aware of the studies with when we work together so closely with those who are with us, we are able to coexist and work together with intention. So we're raising up that vibration of healing light and expanding that. No harm. And I welcome each of thee to do that. If you remember sacred caves that you've been inside of and the crystal beings there, if you're having visions of places right now as a light alchemist, let us connect to these sacred places in a really beautiful light way and integrate this light medicine and do this together before I turn off the camera, and we'll have to continue the class for the next Monday. I have many seeds, so I'm growing them. Their seeds are huge and plenty. They're like wishing seeds. So I'm growing them and sprouting them, and then I'd be happy to just share them places that they're supposed to be going into. But they have to be, it has to be something that I feel that they're supposed to go to those places because of the soul medicine that comes with it. Not just to be used, but to be loved, honored, cherished, allowed to thrive and be, not as an object, but as a being growing. Okay, so now before we continue, I'm going to ask you to really revitalize that memory of the place that you would like to hold that your intention of your integration with their presence together, that you feel that you're welcome with an integration with somewhere that's super beautiful and sacred to thee, that's super healing, integrating that light connection. It could be a womb even. And then the expansion, being in the centered place, so your soul isn't being vulnerable there. We're here because we're all integrating together in these videos. Like these are us integrating. So really open, yet safe in our bubble and our expansions, and visualizing the beautiful light frequencies from these places and integration of creation, and they're safe and we're all safe and we're rising our vibrations together, bringing sacred into this, so I'll feel sacred and blessed with this beautiful bliss of light, feeling that integration, that collaboration of beautiful light, bringing solutions and resolve to many places, many souls, bringing in healing. I'm visualizing healing, mass healings, right? In these moments, those of thee who want to join in, welcome thee. We're going to do this mass healing. So we're going to put in our centering, do the mass healings. From our center, we rise, expansion, inhale, intentions, expansions. Donate some blood for a moment. The roses didn't make me bleed. They bit me. It's medicine. Okay. Alrighty then. So I feel like we've covered the continuance of the importance of breath work, as well as our connection with creation, the importance of visualizing, centering, expanding. Having the activation pose is very much important. Having the heart open. So if you're in the activation pose and your heart center is feeling like you're drowning, or somebody's like pushing like through something inside of your soul, you gotta like center and like rejuvenate in the areas that you feel the light, pushing that light through, and then identifying what that is from that. Obviously you're aware of what that is, and working through that in a way that is more so like pushing the light in and expanding that with the solutions of I'm fine, I don't deserve that, I've done nothing wrong to deserve that, or this is who I am, and here's how things are going to transform. And really identifying that, but seeing the solution and creating that solution in a coexisting way. It's very positive and a high vibe. Helps the situation improve of its purest intention. For all of us, included. Are there any questions? Okay, so before I turn off the camera, I'm going to go into the communications of what we've covered today as I apply my sacred cure to my legs. I'm doing a lot of activity. It's good to do that. Especially if, yeah, for me, for we. So anointing oils. Creating an anointing oil. How do you create an anointing oil? Gathering with intentions. How do we gather with intentions? We honorably talk to those who we're gathering from. Hello, beloved. Hello, beloved. Ooh, connecting the heart center. So there's some thorn beings on this, possibly those of you who like to gather them, asking if it's possible to have some, and then gathering in the way, or the leaf being things, you just slide them off and then they peel off. And make sure that the moon, la luna, is waxing, not waning when doing so that they can grow more. Because if you're doing it while the waning, then that's not as honorable to them. They prefer to be gathered when la luna, when the moon is waxing. As the waters are growing and so forth, it's honorable to gather them as the waters are growing so that they are able to have plenty. Same with cutting the hair. If you want your hair to grow, cut when the luna is waxing, other than cutting when it's waning. Because if cutting when waning, then it won't grow as fast as what they suggest because of the way that the waters are, based on the sacred la luna, the moon shining, for us to be able to see. So it's very, very much an intention, and we can also work around that, those of us who have honed in our abilities to work beyond those limitations. We have expansions without limitations. So anointing with oil, gathering, having the oil. So grapeseed oil is great for penetration. It goes inside. Sunflower seed oil is very lovely, very helpful for those of you who want an external, but those of you who want really deep, working with grapeseed oil is very helpful. Growing the grapes, making sure they're non-GMO and never sprayed. You don't need sprays or chemicals on them, because if you knew what those chemicals were, you probably wouldn't touch them, not even in the can. So you definitely don't want to rub that kind of stuff on you, but make sure that they're organic and as pure as possible. If you could find them or grow them, that's even better. And then working with the butters, if you can somehow have like a vegan butter of some sort. I have shea here, there's moringa butter, there's coconut butter, there's many types of butters to mix in with the oils. And then adding calendula flower, the wildflower beans that are here present, and honoring them, letting them fall like these rose petal beans. They smell amazing, and they've already fallen. And so instead of gathering them while they're full on there, like growing, thriving, you wait until they've already accomplished, and then we gather from them. And that's why I let them be where they are. I don't cut them. I don't do that. Some moments I'll work with them and I'll break them up honorably, but mostly I let them be. And then I'm honored by those offerings that they give us that we can work with. We can make these into oils. And the others who are fallen here from that tree being, from the liquat, we can work with those who've already fallen and make them into oils. Wash them off with the alkaline ururu also, if you really want to keep them in that type of way. The dandelions are really lovely to work with. Those of you who don't like the gardens filled with them, honoring them, letting them have places to grow, but gathering them also and making the sacred oils with them. You just lightly cook them. You don't boil them. You could put them in a jar and have them out in the sun, in the sol, in la luna, and then let them heat in those ways and cook in those ways. Or else you could put them over some sort of a fire, a low simmering foie, and so that you're able to extract their nourishments and nutrients and then make a salve or an oil with them. You don't always need a beeswax. I work with carnauba wax. So carnauba wax is obviously, it's plant-based. It's not from bumblebees, because I make completely vegan options. So my company, I do vegan. It's vegan, completely organic vegan. And it's definitely, it was a lot to switch from beeswax, which I really honor and appreciate the bumblebees, because they have been super healing for my soul and many creations that I was able to help heal. And when the bumblebees came to me and they said, look, we're not happy that you're working with our beeswax. We're not happy to have other bumblebees have to be harvested. Like, we work really hard for that. And look what they're doing. Like, they were actually not happy about it. So I made the vegan version, and I've healed bumblebees with it. The bumblebees love it. I've healed black widows with it. Those who have suffered chemical sprays, like the chemical stuff, they were dying, and I put that on them, and they survived. They lived. Even like birds, like beings who've been hit by cars, you put the salve on it and stops their bleeding. My child love had its mouth, like it had that's why the teeth are new, is because the teeth got like knocked out some from getting tripped by beings who were present in spirit, and Lovey was like, went through it. And so, yeah, it stopped the bleeding like right away. It like grew like a blood, like a blood, what is it, like a nerve, what is it, the vein. It grew a vein in the mouth where the blood was like coming, gushing out of. It stopped the bleeding, and then Lovey spit out this like vein case that the salve made a vein case around the blood. Like it's such a trip what this does. Like the power of intention is miraculous. I've been able to erase wrinkles. My sacred center is already like, I'm constantly a virgin. If I go through celibacy, I become a virgin again and again and again, and that's why having sex isn't really that fun to me, because I'm like a virgin again and again, and it doesn't, it hurts. And so I enjoy my celibacy because it's sacred, because we're allowed to be sacred. We're allowed to have that respect and that honor of our soul beings, having that innocence. And this salve like made, because I've given birth to, I've had 12 pregnancies, but 4 of them have successfully been able to come out in those ways. Like the other children are in spirit, but I have 4 that like get dressed and like have phones and things like that in that way. And I've been able to make my stomach is tight. My being is firm. Because of the way that I eat organic. I put intentions of light in my soul. I'm constantly removing others' energies and energy that doesn't belong there, and expanding the energy. Because I notice that as healers, if we're just like in the house, just like not doing anything, we have to continuously be, and continuously be able to do what we're meant to do. Because we have so much energy, we can't just harvest it inside of our own cells. We've got to like expand that. And that's helped me release a lot of energy. And then the salve has also helped me to heal my womb, like after birth, because I created it before I gave birth. I made my first couple versions, and then after I began to perfect it, and then I got it perfect. And so I was able to heal myself from major head injuries, and stop the migraines, and heal my spine and my neck, because I had some major head injuries due to things that I had experienced from partners that I had needed to be away from, that I was looking to be free from. And so I was able to heal myself completely. Even my knee, I didn't have to get the knee surgery. I was able to heal my ACL that was torn. And yeah, so the power of alchemy is really amazing with the intentions that we create. Really beautiful. Okay, is there any questions? Hi, Jelly Bye. And Nick, ooh, Nick too, freestyler. All these sacred souls that I truly love and honor in here right now. Wow, I feel so blessed and honored. Okay, so let's go through the checklist. 1, centering, expanding, filling into our intuition, our vibration, our interest. What are we creating? Breathing into that. Working with the plant medicines, the beings who are working with us, with intentions and appreciation with them, and honor with them, coexisting with them, and magnifying that with our breath. As we're receiving them, as we're gathering them during the waning, not during the waxing, not the waning moon, do we gather. So during the waxing, not the waning moon. Honorably. With the inhalation, with the exhalation, the intentions, the inhalation. Beautiful honor, appreciation. Honoring them. And then honoring what we're preparing to create with them. And then making that happen and putting that together. And creating. And creating. Creating our elixirs, creating our tinctures, creating our healing medicine for we and those who come to we, with the most purest intentions, the most highest vibrations of our light inside. That beautiful light that is the appreciation of being. That could growl, you could roar, but make sure that it's coming from a place where your wings and your soul are vibrating the I am presence, that I can, this is what's happening, this is this beautiful heart open, love, appreciation, integration, we are all family, this integration, I am present, we are connected, this light, love, honor, acceptance, integration of being. How do you help your friend with poison ivy rash? Levi. Hi, Levitt. I believe that, you know, this has 30 inside of it, so I wouldn't suggest you going out and finding 30, but I know that nettle, so nettle is very helpful, dandelion, nettle, dandelion, moringa is nice. Also, try to do with the dandelions and nettle, and then crushing them into a nice paste. And you could add probably like a little bit. Is there any type of a butter, like a shea butter? Jewelweed. Is this jewelweed? Actually, I don't. Is it like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Like, it has like 5 leaves that go off on the side. Jewelweed. Beautiful. Yes, so the weeds that grow naturally around the poison ivy are usually cures. Same with if you step in a pile of nettle, then the dandelions that are growing right there are the cures to take away the stinging and that pain. You have a ACL tear and they want to, okay, so Michelle, I had my so I have on this knee, I have the 3 incisions. They did 3 surgeries on my knee very early on before I lost the medical insurance, and I had to learn how to heal myself. So I've been able to heal my knees with the salve that I created because of what I put in here, was able to regrow the tissue and heal the area. So it works on old and new injuries because I've created it so. So if you could look into the plant medicines that grow there naturally. Sorry, it's kind of like, let me put the camera over here. Okay, that's better. So black cohosh and comfrey. Comfrey is really helpful with helping the knees. Arnica is nice to take away the pain, but you want to use something, so calendula flower, it's like a wildflower. Working with the nettle and neem is really nice, but you want to get the grapeseed oil so it goes inside, and then you'd also like to add the comfrey. Comfrey is so comforting for bones and muscles and tissue that's getting regrown. And then the black cohosh also was really super healing and very helpful to work with. You're very welcome. And thank you, Jalevi. Yay! Mashallah, Jalevi. Jewelweed. It's exciting. I'm excited to look up jewelweed. I feel like it's growing here already. Like a bunch of them. Masha. So are there any more questions? Because I'm getting ready to do a sacred sound bath concert for y'all upstairs pretty soon here. So any of you who need the liquat leaves or the liquat seeds, I'd be happy to help them get to thee if it's something that's very important that I know, and we can find a way to bring them to thee. What Webelos? I will look up Webelos site and see if the Webelos is part of the way to do it. I'm willing to invest in new expansions. Deep love. Let us center before we close off the camera into the poses of the activation. You can have the legs open or closed, straight or bent. Really centering our light already in us. Inhaling. Feel that. Liquat. Liquats are called super cures for those who have been diagnosed with the C word. They call it cancer, which I don't really believe in that way. But it helps them with their blood, helps them with their vibrations so they can get off the medications. They work with liquat as an option for the homeopathic treatments. The leaves are used also to treat HIV. They have amazing, huge minerals. They can be eaten as salad leaves. They're super potent medicine, and they're very delicious. The seeds are really easy to regrow also. But they have, let's see, I'll post what they have. It has like a massive list of their potential uses and works. It cleans the liver, the kidneys, the liver, helps the kidney function too. And they don't have much metaphysical information with them, but they feel very much of high spirit, like super light vibrations. It's so much love. Like here, I'll let you see them. I have other miraculous tree beings who are present who I haven't quite identified, but these ones are the liquat beings. The tree beings love them, or the tweets. Do you see them? They're so happy. And they're super sweet too. They're like sour candy. Okay. Look at this guy. Okay, so take a picture of the tree beings that grow, and then we can talk about who they are, and you can discover what you can work with them with. So that is like much easier to do the light alchemy with them when you're aware of who they are. But you also can work with them just by talking with them. Like these ones just appeared. Like these ones, they came up and appeared when I poured my my yoni blood on the sacred roses over here, and then these ones appeared, and those ones have been transforming. It's really very sacred. So I've also learned that working with our blood, so even if you don't have bleed from your yoni or your penis, or that we pray your penis is not bleeding, because that yeah. So, but with our blood and with anything, like even if it's semen, even if it's sperm, there's places that we can put that, even our urine, like parts that we choose to release, we can release them in certain places. And so having a sacred place to do so is very important. And having that in a sacred place, like a sacred garden, is even more helpful and healing, because now we're integrating with our home and we're doing that rejuvenation where we are at, and that integration creates a sustainable high vibration and creates that habitat, that beautiful habitat that is pretty much like sustainable. it's very much sustainable. So creating that is very important. You're welcome. Yes, very sacred seeds. Merci. Are there any other questions? Thank you too. I'd be happy to give some guidance before I turn off the camera. Is there any other questions? Hi. Okay. Well, my hands feel like there's some healing that has to happen out there, so I'm going to do some light work, or not just work, but just if it's possible, I'm going to work on some of the like some massive energy going on there. So I saw like some whole other family, they were putting intentions of energy against when and so I'm healing them. I already did the protection for us, for thee, and then working on them so they don't have to feel like that. Yeah. There's some who like they were focusing on those things that happen and they were like stuck in that, and they don't have to get stuck in that kind of energy. So it's really important to like identify where that energy is coming from and then to do something about it. Don't just let it keep happening like that. Like do something about it energetically. We have that option to bring in the comfort and to bring in the solutions with healing. Like we're expanding this beautiful healing. It's a lot. My hands feel like they still have to continue healing, so we'll continue. Okay. Asha Shrim. Asha Levitz. I thank thee too. Namaste. May your light shine. May we shine together brightly. Love you.